Live from Studio B in the Annenberg School here at USC. This is the Talk of Troy, where we talk a big game, but have even bigger opinions. I'm Kyle Loquet. That's Tyler. You know what time it is. We have big opinions today. I mean, we're just coming off of Super Bowl 60. Seahawks get it done after being dominant all year. Patriots find a way to be quiet in the Super Bowl. So, Tyler, I'm going to ask you, what were your thoughts on this Super Bowl, and what do you think now?
I mean, this Super Bowl was nothing surprising to me, in my opinion. I mean, I said it last week on Monday and on Friday. If the Seahawks pull it through, it's going to be because of Kenneth Walker, and he did lock up that Super Bowl MVP. Not a surprise there, that run game. The Patriots actually gave me a little bit of hope in that first quarter when they were, containing the run game. Kenneth Walker's a little bit of a random number generator sometimes. He might shoot for like 20, sometimes -1, +3, but the defense can only do so much to contain him. Towards that back half, he was just like rumbling through the entire team. And as soon as, Drake May's forced to air out the ball, unfortunately things fall the way that they be. I think that experience kind of caught up to him, but hey, we'll get to see a blonde Frank real soon.
Yeah, Frank's not happy about that one. Look, I tried to tell him all season. He was riding high on Drake May, literally trying to just give every excuse, every reason why the Patriots were so great, and they came back to bite him. And looks like now he's going from ginger to blonde. But since we're talking about gingers, we got to go to another one, and that's my guy, Sam Darnold. I mean, look, this has been a storyline for this guy for these last couple of years that he has been in the NFL, and also being a USC quarterback. Now, USC is known for not really producing good enough quarterbacks to get to in the playoffs. And over these last couple of years, we've seen Sam Darnold. I mean, Caleb Williams had a rough start to the year last year, but kind of came through this year, got deep in the playoffs. But at least for this guy, Sam Darnold, look, I've been rooting for this dude since he played in that 2017 Rose Bowl game against Penn State. He got drafted by the Jets, third pick in the 2018 draft. That draft had Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, which, guess what? Out of all those quarterbacks I just named, Sam Darnold is the only Super Bowl winner.
Only one of them out of that class.
And who would have thought that?
Yeah.
I mean, this dude was stamped as a career backup, goes to the Jets. His first play of his career, he throws an interception.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, where does this guy stand? His first 38 games in the league, he had 39 interceptions.
Yeah.
And now he has really revitalized himself, made the story his own story. And I think this is what's so great about this guy, because last year he goes to the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy gets injured in training camp, steps in, really gets the Vikings to the playoffs. They get bounced out the first round, the wild card in Arizona, because the Rams played there because of the Palisades Fire last year. Then this year goes to the Seahawks. No one knew what would happen. I mean, they were the number one team all year. And I think for Sam Darnold, this is something that he's been waiting for. A lot of people counted him out. A lot of people didn't think he would be able to complete the job.
Yeah.
But he mentioned in the post game interview and in his press conferences with ESPN and all the top media companies, that the only people that believed in him were his parents. And I had a chance to actually sit next to his parents last year at the Rams game when they played the Vikings, and you can just, I mean, it was a full circle moment for him. But I would say for this Seahawks team, I mean, they came out firing, and despite that, their receivers weren't really going off. I mean, JSN really didn't do much in comparison with what a lot of people thought he would do. Kenneth Walker stepped up, had over 150 rushing yards, and I think 29 rushes. So shout out to him. He well-deserving MVP. Now, some people thought that Darnold should have got the MVP. Tyler, what do you think?
As a Niners fan, I hate that I've seen the Seahawks win twice before I've seen my Niners win one. That's extremely painful. Like, nothing has ever happened that has been that worse. But as an SC fan, shout out to Sam Darnold. Yeah, I mean, my humble goat. You've really seen him just grow throughout his career, and to see him make that comeback for himself and really cement a legacy that, again, no one can take away from him. That's an absolutely huge thing to see out of him. As it pertains to Super Bowl MVP, I don't know if I could call that performance MVP level. Definitely the most locked in, the best I've seen of Sam Darnold throughout his career, throughout the entire season. It went from what I think was a bunch of turnovers in the regular season to 0 out of Sam Darnold in this postseason. But I don't think I would give him, Super Bowl MVP, considering what Kenneth Walker was doing for this team. Maybe if you consider the playoffs as a whole, yes, he was finally able to elevate this offense to what it is. But even looking forward, I don't think that Sam Darnold is that guy like, I'm sorry, I don't think this Seahawks has like a dynasty going for them, like going forward. I think this was a one and done. I think Clint Kubiak was really able to elevate a lot of these players, and not to say that they're gonna like drop off the map and have like a crazy Super Bowl hangover, but I don't see this team being able to make everything out of what they had last season. So congrats to Sam Darnold. Congrats to the Seahawks. This is amazing. Again, no one can take away this victory from them. But going forward, you're facing an NFC that is a lot tougher. And to be honest, like Sam Darnold, when they were really finding him in his groove, when they were able to give him these manageable passes, right?
Yeah.
I think the maybe the largest yardage he had in the Super Bowl was like 20 yards or so.
I think for the Super Bowl, I mean, look, I think what Darnold did, I mean, a guy who was known for throwing interceptions, he had none in the Super Bowl. I mean, he had over 200 yards and a touchdown coming later in the game.
Yeah,
but I think Kenneth Walker deserved it. He had more touches on the ball. He had more rushing yards with the team. Overall, helped them, kind of come out with that win. But the Super Bowl as a whole, though, it was very slow. In that first half, I mean, I was getting flashbacks from the Patriots-Rams game, and I was like, oh, my gosh. Like, look, you're already in San Francisco. You're at an outdoor stadium for the first time in a couple of years. Typically, the Super Bowl is in an indoor stadium for the last 5 years. And it's like, all right, now the atmosphere has kind of changed. You have a different atmosphere. The Super Bowl is very colorful, too.
It was, yeah.
I have to say this year it definitely was. But then when you look at the Patriots were in the NFC, and they had the strength of schedule all season long. And from what I expected, I mean, that's what I thought was going to happen. I tried to tell Frank, you guys know, like, look, Drake May had a great season. Look, especially for a sophomore quarterback, which is not common in the NFL. Typically, sophomore quarterbacks, they fall off in the second year.
Yeah.
But Drake May did his thing, had one of the best, literally statistical seasons that we've seen in a while. Second youngest quarterback to start in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I just think when it came down to it, he hadn't been there, but also his receivers weren't doing much. His offensive line was getting ran through like a sack of potatoes. Like, it was just very pressure heavy for him, and I don't think he was able to react fast enough. And also, he didn't have his receivers that could help him. You look at their defense was nowhere compared, or at least nowhere compared to the Seahawks defense.
Not at all, definitely not.
And especially, like, if you look at Seahawks defense, like, the Seahawks as a team had to play good, and the Patriots had to play great just for that game to be even.
Yeah.
And the fact that both of these teams were, or at least the Seahawks were completely on and the Patriots were trying to get on, it just shows that it was kind of mismatched. But look, I mean, the Patriots rode out of the AFC. I don't think they're going to be back in there next year. It was good for them. Now, NFC, I don't know. I don't know if the Seahawks if they don't move around nobody, then they could have a chance. But the NFC is way more loaded than the AFC and way, way tougher. But I think as far as it comes to Darnold, I think we have to talk about this because now I want to know where people put him because he's won a Super Bowl. He's done something that a lot of people in the AFC have tried to do but couldn't do because of Patrick Mahomes. And over the last 2 seasons, he has the best record as a quarterback in the NFL. He has 30 wins, 6 losses. He's the only player in the NFL history to win 14 or to have 2 seasons and win 14-win games with 2 different teams in back-to-back seasons. So I don't know where you put him. Look, the stats speak for itself. I mean, I was looking at him and I was like, man, this is kind of crazy for this guy that was kind of mentioned as a career backup. But Tyler, what do you think about this? Where would you put Sam Darnold in the NFL heading into the 2026 season?
I definitely have him up there. Is he a top 5 quarterback right now? I don't know. Like if you look at his performance this season, if people had Hurts in top 5 going into this season, I think Sam Darnold definitely like knocked him off already.
Yes.
Like I think you have like Darnold, Jackson kind of had a slow season, but I think with a new head coach coming in, you're going to see good things out of him. So,
and I think the
Darnold doesn't move the needle, just like how Hurts Super Bowl didn't move the needle.
Yeah,
but Hurts Super Bowl didn't win the needle because of his supporting cast and Saquon Barkley. Sam Darnold as a whole, his performance.
John Witherspoon and the supporting cast of the Seahawks defense.
No, but they do. But in a sense to where you look at what Sam Darnold has. I mean, Jalen Hurts wasn't the only quarterback to have 2 14-win seasons with 2 different teams.
But it's still looking at it like, Darnold was able to execute and do everything that like Kubiak wanted from him, right? And it's the same thing that you see from quarterbacks where in their amazing O-line, great to have. I think a lot of quarterbacks can, you look that good when you have an O-line that's that good. But if you're not forced into like crazy uncomfortable situations, I know he escaped the pocket a couple times. That was actually pretty nice to see. But not forced to be super creative, throw any long balls. And when you have Barner Cup showed up big time, like we saw the Super Bowl MVP Cup that we saw with the Rams in this game, you're gonna look good. So I think he'll be a top 5 quarterback heading into next season. Is he a game-changing, redefining quarterback? No. I think this is a solid win for him.
It is a solid win. I think he can be, though. With the right people in the right placement, he can be. And I think he's proven that over the last 2 years.
Yeah, but with Kubiak leaving, there's a lot left to be seen.
Because I don't think people realize how hard it is to go to a different team and still play how you played before in a different system, to whereas you're executing to the same level, and then even go further than what you got with the previous team and go to the Super Bowl. Especially as a quarterback, it really doesn't happen. But we'll see what he does. I mean, I'm rooting for our SC guy. I think this is well-deserved for him. But now we're speaking of at least one star, but now we got to go to all of them because we're talking about the All-Stars.
Yes, we are.
For the NBA coming up this weekend at the Intuit Dome. I think this is going to be interesting. So far, aside from the actual game and the festivities, I'm really enjoying the atmosphere throughout Los Angeles. I mean, there's a lot of advertisements for the All-Star game.
Yeah, they changed bus stop.
Yeah, the bus stop right here around USC is now all painted in red. Got All-Star game all over it. I think the festivities that they're having for Foot Locker, only exclusive sneakers that'll be dropped to LA Live that you can only get in Los Angeles for All-Star weekend. So I'll definitely be making, myself. I will be taking myself down there for sure.
Yeah, what pair are you looking out for?
I'm honestly all of them. That's my sneakers are my weakness. But for the All-Star game itself, what are your thoughts on this All-Star game? Do you think it's a top one? Do you think like how it's being perceived? Like what thoughts?
I mean, like the All-Star game, in my opinion, I this America versus the world thing is like interesting.
There's 3 teams this year too: Stripes, Stars, and U.S. Versus the world.
And I like that they're incorporating something new to keep it active. But I don't know. I feel like the All-Star games just never kind of either the magic is falling off or it was never completely there for me, in my opinion. Like I think it's cool to be able to go see your favorite players and show up. But I don't think that there's ever been a time where I was just like, man, like I'm missing the All-Star game right now. Like I really want to be there. Like aside from like maybe like the 3-point contest where you got like Curry dropping like threes like left and right. But I don't know. I think it might just be me, but like the magic of the All-Star game hasn't been there for me for a while.
I think the All-Star game that I really paid attention to was the one where they wore the blue jerseys and the red jerseys.
I know
it was right after I think Kobe passed away.
Yeah.
That was probably the most intriguing All-Star game, at least that I can remember over these last couple of years. But as far as this one, look, it's at Intuit Dome, one of the best stadiums in the city.
Stadium.
Or not even in the city, sorry, in the country. Not better than Crypto. I'm still taking Crypto over Intuit. I don't care. That's simply because I'm a Lakers fan.
Yeah.
But we'll get to them in a minute.
Okay.
But as far as the All-Star game goes, I think I'm enjoying the jerseys, I have to say. If I look at the All-Star game and how its atmosphere is presenting to the audience, for people to want to watch it, I like their jerseys. But when you look at the roster, you have the USA Stripes, the Stars, and the World.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't taken a look at that World team, it has Giannis, Wembanyama, Shea, Luka, top people in the NBA that can easily get you 40 a night. And if you look at I think it's the Stripes team for USA, that's the one that has Kevin Durant, Curry, but he won't be playing. You have LeBron, all the American guys. And then you have one more team, which is like, you already know they're getting bounced out the first round. That just has like Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, like Anthony Edwards, like still good players, but who knows? Maybe they might make
Cade
a
Cunningham
stretch.
is going to the NBA Finals.
What'd you say?
Cade Cunningham is going to the NBA Finals.
He's not going to the NBA Finals.
That's a crazy take by Tony.
It's
look,
like
I don't look. I'm not gonna count anything out. I mean, that's just how sports goes. But as far as this All-Star game, look, that Stars team, I do believe it is. If they find a way to beat World or the Stripes, it'll be good for them. But I think for this All-Star game, it's gonna be interesting. All the festivities are gonna be up in the air. We'll see how each of these teams perform.
Yeah.
But honestly, I can't even remember the last time it was really a good All-Star game to really be like, oh, the All-Stars are playing.
Yeah.
But, we'll see what happens. But since we're speaking about this event, we got to go to the next one, and that one is in Milan Cortina. And that is the Winter Olympics. I do want to touch on this because this is one guy that I've been seeing everywhere, and that is Mr. SNAA PDOGG himself. Snoop Dogg is at the Olympics with NBC. He's, again, after he went to Paris in 2024. I mean, this guy is a multimedia personality figure.
Man.
He's literally everywhere where you need him to be. I mean, he's out here commentating the games. And overall, I think he's just been a fun guy to watch on television.
No, definitely.
But also, he's interacting in the festivities with the skiers. And I just think, like, this is the smartest thing that NBC could have done.
Yeah, he's getting up there. He's doing his thing. He's being Snoop. He's like, repping the brand, repping like the USA. And he's doing what I wish I was doing there, which is try every sport, have a good time, hang out with celebrities and, Team USA Olympians. And I think it's a wonderful move by NBC. I can't wait to see him in 2028 when he's here, at home in LA.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be lit. And I really like to see kind of going forward what NBC's kind of position is. I really wonder, now that the 2028 Olympics, I mean, you saw the commercial during the Super Bowl, we're having flag football. I mean, Jalen Hurts throwing it.
That was
football into the Coliseum.
Even speaking of flag football, look, I don't know if I'm a fan of that, honestly.
Really?
I don't know if I'm a fan of that because, look, flag football has never been in the Olympics. And if you're going to put football in the Olympics, you got to put the helmets and the pads. And honestly, you're putting in flag football, which they changed the Pro Bowl to flag football. But I understand for that aspect because people in the Pro Bowl were low-key going balls out. Like, they were literally going all over the place. They were trying to hurt people. They were trying to hurt who they were playing against. But honestly, I think for the Olympics, I don't know. I don't know what the Olympics is going to bring to Los Angeles. But for flag football to be in the Olympics, I don't know how I feel about that, especially with there being NFL players. I don't know if it's going to be NFL players from America or the world or how they're going to decipher between those two.
I mean, it sucks that they aren't playing with pads, but you got to make it a little fair for the rest of the world. I mean, if you have Micah Parsons, Russian, someone from Japan.
Yeah,
it's not that fair at that point. I think they'll probably do a similar system as what they're maybe doing with the MLB World Classic right now, where they look at different heritage eligibility and things like that. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited for flag football. Football it's America's game. It's America's sport. Love to see them show out. But especially in LA too. I really hope to be there for that. We already got the raffle going on and stuff like that. But turning our attention back to the Winter Olympics, Team USA is showing out right now. I think we're about to have finals in my favorite Winter Olympic sport, curling.
Oh,
well, we're back at it when it comes to mixed curling.
I didn't know Tyler was a curling fan, but look, I've been watching. I mean, look, we saw what happened to Lindsey Vonn, unfortunately.
Oh, that's tragic.
We'll have more for you later tonight. I was watching I believe it's figure skating.
Figure skating, yeah.
And one of them guys, I think his name is Ilya Milani, whatever. Yeah. That dude is 21, out here doing quadruple, triples, double back, dip, dive, backflip, whatever it is on skates. He just I was watching what he was doing. This dude did a backflip and landed on one leg and continued skating. And I was like, there's no way he just did that. Now I understand why USA wins gold. Yeah. Because they have a guy that is kind of unstoppable, and he really just is out there being better than everyone else.
Yeah, and he not only did a backflip once, but twice as well. And the thing that you should know about figure skating is he doesn't even get points for doing the backflip. He's just doing it for the love of the game, doing it to show off. We got him. We got Alyssa Liu, Bay Area, repping the Bay. I love to see it. But I think it really goes to show that, Team USA, if you can get Americans fired up for figure skating, for curling, any sport that we're good at, you can get Americans fired up for that kind of thing. And I love to see it. And I think it just goes to show, honestly, we could probably be dominating soccer if we wanted to. We just choose not to. But I love to see this kind of this camaraderie between the sports, between the events, and the Olympics is special, man.
Yeah, I don't soccer. I don't know about that one. Soccer, that's the world sport. Yeah, and when it comes to soccer, you're dealing with Brazil, Argentina, Spain. These guys play this year round.
But you're not putting America's best athletes. If you put JJ in a soccer match, who's catching him? Yeah. No one's catching him. You put someone with great hands and keeper. If we really tried to be good at soccer, we'd be good at soccer.
Yeah, I mean, you also dealing with France. Those guys out here, magicians with their feet with the soccer ball. I mean,
it's legit.
I don't know, but I just think this Olympics has been fun and exciting. I don't know what LA 28 is going to offer. I'm still like up in the air about that. We'll see. We'll really see what happens there because honestly, I don't know where LA will be at that time. We have the Super Bowl coming up next year. Yeah. But I do want to ask you, we had a great halftime performance from Bad Bunny.
Oh, we did.
This past Super Bowl. But who is your prediction to be the halftime performer next year in the Super Bowl in LA?
I mean, if I'm following like the industry, like brand industry trends, I feel like it could be like a Sabrina Carpenter or something like that. Okay. Like she's rising up there. She hasn't really like, I don't think she got a Grammy this year or nothing. But like as far as like mainstream appeals goes, like she was. I feel like she was in multiple commercials like this year. I see her appearance almost everywhere. And she feels really like a staple of LA, of this like kind of like Hollywood, like ocean beachside theme that they're really going for next year. I don't know if you saw the logo or not.
Yeah, I saw the logo.
But I feel like it could be her. If not, what's kind of like an older name that we haven't like seen in a while.
I was thinking, this is my thoughts. If they weren't gonna give it to Taylor Swift, I was thinking Pitbull.
Pitbull, yeah.
I
would be hyped.
I agree.
I think we've seen Usher, we've seen like Snoop Dogg, we've seen Dr. Dre, we've seen Rihanna, we've seen Kendrick Lamar, we've seen Bad Bunny. Like it gets to a point where you're starting to run out of ideas and you're just recycling through. We've seen Green Day, we've seen like the different groups. And I think this guy, he's the only one that's left where it's like he's got some hits. And it's like you're going for this beach theme, and it's like you kind of give the LA Miami vibes. Yeah. You know, you get Pitbull in there. It's like, yo, if you bring your girlfriend and meet me at the hotel room, like if you really like have that kind of feel to it at the Super Bowl, I mean, you get the crowd hyped up. Yeah. I just think, especially at SoFi, since they already had the Super Bowl in 2021 at SoFi, it's a different atmosphere when you're in there.
It is.
And I think when you have all the fans and everyone hyped up, and it's an indoor stadium, you really get the crowd fired up.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't know. What were your thoughts on this past halftime Super Bowl performance?
Dude, it was hype. I mean, honestly, like, I've listened to a little Bad Bunny. I got to be honest, I didn't understand what they were saying, like, half the time. But, like, that's the thing about his music. It's got the beat. It's got the rhythm. Keeps you hyped throughout it. And, like, it's super colorful. Like, whatever they did with the camera work, they made the Super Bowl look a lot bigger than it actually was. Yeah. And I think all throughout it, I mean, I don't know if I would say it tops Kendrick. I love Kendrick. I think he really showed out at that Super Bowl, at the Superdome last year. But I have it up there.
My favorite Super Bowl halftime performance is Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre and Friends. I'll say
I really love
that one. Look, the story doesn't get better than that. The Rams win the Super Bowl in Los Angeles in their home stadium, and they have their most native rappers come out and perform for them. And you have all of Dr. Dre's prodigies on stage with him in Los Angeles. It don't get no better than that. And everyone has their own opinion, thinking so. That one is by far the best, by any means necessary. You can go argue with the wall. I will stand 10 toes down on that one. I think it's the best one.
Yeah.
I just think if you're gonna have somebody else now they're gonna have to top that, and we'll see what happens. But
do you think we live in a timeline where we'll see Eminem get like his own Super Bowl?
Honestly, I think that's up to him. Because he's not a guy that's very.
He's not a super.
He's not a guy that's very like social, at least now, to be like, oh, yo, I'm performing tonight. Like, you lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it. Like, he ain't gonna be out here doing that. Like, if somebody asked him to do that, he'll be like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But then it's like you get somebody who really wants to like party. It's like it's completely different. And the Super Bowl is supposed to be fun.
It is.
And I think over the last couple of years, you've kind of seen it like either be like 50-50, but also people making their message and their stands at the Super Bowl. But like I think now as we go towards the future, you're probably gonna drift away from that because we're not as like deep in it anymore.
Yeah.
To whereas like you probably could still do some things, but then it gets to a point where you've kind of seen like even with Patrick Mahomes and how he's kind of shifted, but also the Chiefs didn't make the playoffs this year.
No, they did not.
I don't think this might be a hot take, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I don't think the Chiefs are gonna go back to the Super Bowl.
Like in like the end of the decade, like 2030 or like
I'll say 2030. I'll say 2030. I just think here's why I say that is because if Travis Kelce retires,
I think
not next year, but even in 2 years, which he probably will, then it's just Patrick Mahomes. Now the Chiefs have to go through a whole resurgence of their drafts and try and restart from the beginning. Yeah. Now this is in comparison to the Patriots, where the Patriots won 6 Super Bowls over 20 years. And it's like, or at least a 20-year span, roughly, we'll say. And it's like, you see the dominance that they have, but also how many times you went to the Super Bowl, how many times you lost the Super Bowl. But also, for Mahomes, it's like, if the AFC, will say, kind of stays consistent in a sense to where if he's not the dominant team, if the Chiefs aren't the dominant team in the AFC, you'll have the Ravens to deal with if they get better.
Yeah.
You'll have the Broncos again with Bo Nix coming back.
Yeah.
You'll have the Patriots, and these are all younger guys.
Yeah.
And Father Time catches up to everyone, and I'm not saying it's catching up to Patrick Mahomes yet, but I think his eyes and his body is more off the field than it is on the field.
Yeah, and when you had this Patriots run, it was Brady and Belichick all the way. I honestly just don't know if Andy Reid has like that much left in him to keep going. Like I'm sure he would, like if he really wanted to, but I don't know what the organization in terms like leadership, ownership, like as you can already see, like they're moving out of Kansas City, like Missouri, into like Kansas City, Kansas. I mean, new stadium, new money. I'm sure they'll put their best foot forward, and I'm not going to rule it out, but I don't think you're going to see a dynasty like you saw with the Patriots, where you have a break and then this massive resurgence.
Yeah, it's just like it's just different. Like I think because the Chiefs were getting compared to that, and look, if they would have beat the Eagles in that Super Bowl, the story would be completely different right now.
Yeah.
But I just think too many things happened off the field with the Chiefs to where like the locker room is kind of dispersed now.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, I'm going to a new team. Like, let's go get a Super Bowl with a different team. And it's like the same thing with every sport. Everybody wants to see a different winner every year.
Yeah.
And speaking of like different winners, like I do want to talk about the NBA just for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were talking about at least like their MVPs. Some people mentioned Jaylen Brown over Jaylen Brown over Shea. Don't let Frank hear that I said Jaylen Brown is the MVP because I do not think that at all. But it was Jaylen Brown, like Luka, Shea, and honestly, I don't even really know, to be honest. I haven't really paid much attention to their statistical averages and how much they average individually for them to get the MVP. But who's your early pick in the finals?
Cavs, I think, will make it out of the East. I think you look at that starting five. I said this on Friday. That looks very, maybe they have some depth issues, but I think you have, a young guy in Mobley and Mitchell.
James Harden.
And if they're balling out, like, Mitchell doesn't have to play hero ball the entire time. I think that was, like, the thing that you had to see out of him last playoffs when you had Darius Garland was injured, didn't, like, have that much support from Jared Allen and his team. Like, a couple things here and there. I think that Cavs team is super complete, especially when you consider that, I guess the Knicks are up there, but they're struggling, just consistency wise. Like I guess you can have like that good defense, but I'm not really seeing it right now. I think the Pistons are up there in the East right now, but you're seeing like offensive struggles.
And like Tony mentioned earlier with the Pistons, they're number one in the Eastern Conference right now. So who knows? He might be right, but we'll see after the All-Star game.
Yeah, I don't
hey, I'm just saying that nobody believed in the Pacers and their devil magic.
That's true.
True.
Guess what? Nobody believes in them now because they haven't won more than 20 games.
Yeah.
So Pascal Siakam should be on the bench and shouldn't be an All-Star.
He should not.
Absolutely not.
And
you take that to the bank and deposit that.
And like I said last Friday, I think we could argue about the East, but it's not going to matter because it's either going to be Wemby lifting the trophy. He seems to own OKC right now. You see what happens when OKC isn't able to start SGA. Or maybe you see the Nuggets and Jokic rise. I think this is the first time in a really long time that like both Jokic and Murray are producing at the same time. So maybe they can keep it going into the postseason, but I don't know. I think that you could see this is Wemby's year where he makes the finals.
Yeah, my pick earlier in the year was the Spurs, but as I'm looking at the standings, it's just like you have that Western Conference is so much harder than the East.
Yeah.
It just is. You have the Thunder, the Spurs, the Nuggets, the Rockets, the Lakers. Like you have a tough road to the finals, whereas like if you're a team like the Lakers, you need some years for rebuilding. And I'm saying that as a Lakers fan. I'm not going to be like, oh, we're going to the finals. We're just not. Look, the young team is going to beat the old guys every day of the week. That's just how it is. Their bones are faster. They can make more plays. They literally recuperate faster. They regroup together. Like they go spend time together. Like when you're 30, 40, LeBron's age, you're like, man, I'm almost out this door.
Kyle,
on to the next one.
I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Is this Lakers squad currently is constructed? Are they better than that Jalen Brunson and Luka Dallas squad?
You mean from what year?
The
2022.
I wouldn't say so. The reason why I wouldn't say so is because like I would say Luka's performance, yes, but the team as a whole, they have their issues.
Yeah.
And I don't think they can play together to whereas like when the difference between that Dallas Mavericks team and the Lakers now is like that Mavericks team was playing as a group, as a whole, with young guys who didn't really know what to do. They're out there just playing.
Yeah.
Now you have Luka who could get you 40 by himself, and he's trying to find the role players, which he has Reeves when he's on the court. You have Luke Kennard now who just decides to go off, which, that was an interesting performance by him.
What a pull.
But also, like, you have a team that's trying to find their identity as one of their veterans is currently leaving the NBA over the next 2 years. And so I think if you're the Lakers, there's a lot of rebuilding you have to do, but also find how they can play together as a team where all the guys are similar, like around the similar age, and they can like just find a way to execute. And I think that's where they're missing. They're off cues sometimes. One's either on, one's off. Luka's doing it all, or someone's not doing enough, and they got to find the rhythm. But that's all we got here on A Block. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Yep.
Peace.
And welcome back to the Talk of Troy. Tate, what happened, bro? I'll tell you what happened. The Seahawks won 29-13, and it certainly didn't feel like 29-13. Both in terms of the score, first of all, it was 12-0 going into the fourth quarter. That was not a game where, 42 points were scored? Not a 42-point game. Also, not a game where the Patriots should have scored at all. It felt like Drake May couldn't do anything. What went wrong, bro?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything went wrong. Now, listen, I am going to stick to my guns here and say that when I said this game was close, it kind of was for a bit.
Yeah.
No
one could score.
No one could score. Our defense locked down. Considering everything, I mean, Woodson, Gonzo, you guys were truly heroes that I honestly can't put enough of my love to you I mean, just the offense. The offense was the problem. Now, I could break this down in a couple ways, but it is the nastiest stat pad I think I've ever seen. Just ever. I mean, Drake May, I think, had the most yards in a single quarter of the Super Bowl, and it was over 200, all in the fourth quarter.
That's absurd.
Yeah, Drake May had the most running yards. It wasn't Trayvon Henderson. It wasn't Ramondre Stevenson. It wasn't either of them. Even though Josh McDaniels went to them how many times? A lot.
Tate, you want a fun fact?
It's not going to be fun. That'd
Bad,
be fun for me.
So
I
fun
want a
fact.
fun fact.
Bad Bunny actually, during his Super Bowl halftime show performance, walked around the field for about 126.6 yards. That's more rushing yards than the Patriots had.
So they're all laughing over there.
That sounds about right.
We had a chance, and we blew it. You know that Dan Campbell pitch where it's like, that might have been our only shot? That might have been our only shot for the next few years.
I don't know about that.
Oh. They were just talking a lot about how the Chiefs might not be back, but the AFC is still dangerous. It's always moving around. It's kind of the unpredictable nature where it's like, you know, the Patriots and the Chiefs, the two teams who have dominated the AFC and have been their representatives for like the past 10 years. There's been 3 teams. It's been them, the Chiefs, and the Bengals. It's now, you know, everyone's off the playing field. Everyone. It's everyone's game right now. You know, everyone's saying the Broncos look good. And what about the Bills? The Bills always have a chance, I guess. The Patriots, they could have been so much better. I mean, I think I have to point out the glaring obvious, and I know I talked a little bit about this with Jonathan and Tyler on Friday. Will Campbell. Yeah. So, you know, I kind of did this little bit where he was like, oh, yeah, he was training. He was practicing. No, he was not. He allowed 14 pressures, which is the most in an NFL game, I think, period.
Wow.
In history.
Wow.
And he's also, you know, I have to mention this as a quote because this guy, you know, everyone was like, yeah, we love Will Campbell. He was like, I will fight and die to protect my quarterback. And everyone was like, yeah.
You sound just like him.
I love this guy. Yeah, I know. I get method acting. That game destroyed my soul, much like he did to Drake May's, you know, I guess yardage. He said, and I quote, if you allow a sack a game, you are going to work at Amazon.
Real bait and switch from him.
Now, I don't necessarily know what happens when you allow a couple sacks a game. What do you work then?
Not just in a game.
The Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl.
The playoffs.
Yeah.
And, you know, we had 2 rookies on the line. There was another sack where our poor little tackle, I think it was our tackle, he got pushed over, and then the defensive lineman grabbed May and was still, like, you know, going back and forth with the offensive lineman and took both of them down. This is in high school.
I wish we had. I mean, we do have a TV. I wish we just like had that right there because I don't even know what you're talking about. I haven't seen this. That to me, the way I'm imagining it, sums up perfectly how that game went. At the line, especially, that's exactly what happened on both sides of the ball, or with both teams and their quarterback. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that perfectly sums up how that game went. In terms of physicality at the line.
Yeah, Jared Wilson was the guy, number 58. He was brutalized, and it was honestly to the point where it's like, yeah, he might be on an equal playing field of a problem as Will Campbell, because I think throughout the playoffs, the glaring issue is, oh my goodness, Will Campbell is getting destroyed by high-level defenses. And yeah, this is a really good Seahawks defense. This is like almost Legion of Boom.
It rivals it.
If not, like, I mean, insane.
Shutting the Patriots out for 3 quarters is something the Legion of Boom would have done.
Yeah. And, you know, everyone was like, oh, this is MVP candidate Drake May. Even me, I was like, it's going to be a close game. Oh, whoa, he's off to a 3-and-out to start. Don't worry, rocky start. He had this against, you know, the Broncos. Houston was a bit of a rocky start. Even the Chargers, I was like, surely that's not like a sign. And it was. Our defense did their job.
Absolutely.
I mean, Sam Darnold's completion ratio, 19 out of 38.
Yeah, completed half his balls. Like,
That's good. That's good defense.
That's
We
absolutely a
pressured
dub in
him.
the
The
Super
blitz
Bowl.
was great. I think a lot of the play calls were amazing. We were not ready. Drake was not
Drake,
ready.
yeah, Drake was not ready. That was, I mean, I think there were two difference makers. There was the run game that Seattle had with K9 that you did not have. And there was also Darnold, who was not a game changer at all in the Super Bowl, but he didn't sell, right? He got the ball out in maximum 3 seconds, basically every play. He did what he had to do to avoid a strong pressure that you guys had
He got out of the
at the
pocket.
defensive line. He got out of the pocket. He did what he had to do. And let's talk about him. So, you know, he completed half his balls, 200 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions, but only took 1 sack, which I think is notable. I think that was one of the strongest things that I took away from his performance. But now he makes history as a USC quarterback, the first USC quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. I honestly didn't think this would happen until a couple of years from now. I thought it'd be Caleb. I never thought it would have been Darnold, but here we are. I want to pose the question to you. Where does Darnold rank all time among USC quarterbacks based on their NFL resumes?
Okay. This is tough. I think one of the most notable USC quarterbacks is probably going to have to be Carson Palmer.
Yeah.
He did some great work with the Cardinals. I think just as a resume as a whole, with his work at USC, also in Heisman, I think necessarily he should be like up there. I think the only determining factor is like Palmer never made it to the Super Bowl.
That's the thing.
Granted, I mean, he didn't really have the greatest team.
No.
He was working with, I mean, a couple of decent wide receivers, and no disrespect to Larry. But, I mean, there's just glaring obvious downsides to the Cardinals' team, and he still made it work. I think the longevity on him as well and how he
Yes.
performed at a very high level puts him in a high spotlight. Now, maybe because I'm biased, but I personally really love Sam Darnold. Now, that game, that kind of softened the blow of the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
I would put Sam Darnold over Carson Palmer as a USC quarterback because of his story and overall resume. You know, he came from the Jets, the Panthers. Like, that is like the doom slate. That's like basically, that is like seeing the devil in front of you and being like, it's over. The only other quarterback who's kind of really escaped that is Baker. And, you know, the last person, I guess, would be like, I don't know, Geno Smith, but
But now he kind of fizzled
he's
out.
gone.
So, yeah.
So I would say Sam Darnold, I think, is currently, because he's consistent. There's something about him right now that he's consistent. Everyone's like, oh, he was going to mess up eventually, but he didn't.
Well, here's the thing. The thing about Palmer is he did it for, 15 years? Got to be. He was the definition of consistent, right? He was kind of that guy that occasionally took you to the playoffs, could maybe win it. I think he won one playoff game his entire career. Like, he was very mediocre, but he was fine. Darnold, to me, is the opposite of consistent, because for the first 8 years of his career, he was on horrible teams, but he wasn't any good, right? We already did count him out. And now all of a sudden he has back-to-back 14-3 seasons and now takes his squad to the Super Bowl. I think he's absolutely on the path to becoming the best USC quarterback, or at least he would be if it weren't for Caleb Williams in the mix, who I think will end up becoming the best USC quarterback ever. But Darnold isn't the reason why Seattle won that game. I mean, at the end of the day, it was a Super Bowl MVP. It was K9, right? So to me, Darnold has had 2 strong years, 2 years that were better than any season Palmer has ever put up, easily, right? I mean, Palmer never took an average Minnesota team to 14-3, and he certainly never won a Super Bowl, or else we probably wouldn't be having this conversation right now. But are you really going to say that after 2 years of production from Darnold, his 2 years are more, not valuable, but say more about him than Palmer's 15 years of strong performance?
I think there's a difference in the precedent of a USC quarterback, and it was kind of touched on earlier, of the idea that USC kind of doesn't produce consistent winning quarterbacks, especially in the NFL level.
It's true.
You know, I think with Lincoln Riley being the quarterback coach, that might change. With Miller Moss in the league,
No.
Guys, let's be real.
No.
But the thing is with Sam is that he's currently consistent. You know, he's learned, he's grown, and granted, Caleb Williams has definitely got a long way to go. The thing with Carson Palmer is that I think, I looked it up. He's got a career record in the playoffs of 1-3.
And Darnold's 3-1. I will
Darnold
say.
is 3-1, and that one was in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that was a very ugly showing, and Darnold still has those moments, but all quarterbacks have those moments. Brock Purdy has those moments, a lot. So I'm not gonna say anything crazy.
Wrong.
I'm not gonna say anything crazy about how Darnold is the best quarterback, period. But if you got someone who's putting up those numbers consistently and winning the chip, granted, that Seahawks team is insanely good. Insanely good. But Darnold got it done.
He did.
He was consistent when it mattered. And that is what winning is all about. And for, you know, a football school, that's a good example of it.
That's true.
That is the exemplar example. Overcame adversity, came out on top.
Long overdue for USC quarterback. USC is a football school. The one thing that, USC produced a strong number of Heisman-winning quarterbacks, could never get it done in the NFL, though. Could never win the big game. Could never even get there. USC just quarterbacks weren't a good thing in the NFL. I do want to take a second, though. Let's compare Darnold to other NFL quarterbacks. Compared to USC quarterbacks, let's take a look at just active NFL quarterbacks that are kind of playing alongside him. I'm going to list off a bunch of quarterbacks until we get to a range where I think we're both in agreement that these guys are below Darnold. So kind of start at the top, work our way down. Just tell me, are these guys better or worse than Darnold? Mahomes.
Better.
I'm in agreement there. Burrow.
Better.
Yep. Lamar.
Better.
Allen.
Better.
Stafford.
Better.
May.
Better.
Yeah, obviously you're going to say
Listen, that was the indicator. As much as I want to say that Drake May is, everyone's like, oh, he's our franchise guy. Sorry, this is a little bit of a side tangent, but we all watched that, right?
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think May's performance wasn't as good as Darnold. Obviously, May sucked in the Super Bowl. But what I saw from May this whole year, wildly impressive. Not that Darnold wasn't, but May is so young. He has such a bright future. He's incredible.
Yeah.
Herbert.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Herbert's better.
I would agree.
It's kind of close considering Herbert's kind of in a similar situation where he's like always been on the cusp, but like he's kind of in a Josh Allen little like if this happens. I think if you put them on the Seahawks team, they absolutely roll as well. And considering Herbert's O-line situation, I would also say the same.
Yeah, Herbert does what he's supposed to do. I think. And what you're supposed to do as a quarterback of that Seahawks team is win. That's all you're supposed to do. Now it gets murky. Dak.
Dak's on and off, and I think Dak is the ultimate litmus test of ball knowing. I think depending on what you say about Dak Prescott, you either know the sport or you don't know the sport.
Really? Because I think everyone's opinion of Dak changes by the year.
I think
That's the thing.
I think so, but I think there's a key undeniable fact, and is that Dak Prescott is a baller, and he shouldn't be counted out. The Cowboys just suck. Like, they are just awful. I think if you throw Dak on that Seahawks team, he's going to do well. I think Dak has a tendency to throw more picks, though.
That's the thing.
So, Dak and Darnold are... That's a very... I don't know. What do you have to say?
I think they are evenly split. If I was given the option of taking one for the next season, every quarterback we've previously listed, I would take over Darnold. Dak, toss up. Yeah. I don't care who you give me. They're equal to me.
Two different play styles.
Absolutely.
Dak's going to give you nearly 400 yards, but he's going to throw like 2 picks and maybe like almost 50 passes.
Yeah.
Darnold's going to keep it conservative. He's going to keep it concise. He's going to get it done and try and do it in a very nonchalant way. I mean, Have you seen this guy? He's like, I got the bird at, you play it and you could find out what birds are chirping. Like that's cool, but like
So would you rather have one over the other? Or are you in the same boat? Are you saying coin flip? Depends on.
give me Darnold.
You'll still take Darnold. Okay.
I'd rather play safe and conservative. There's been a couple of quarterbacks who played very conservative. Jalen Hurts is also one of them who's won a championship, and he's not really the deep ball merchant that everyone that everyone thinks that a lot of like Aaron Rodgers. He's not like a deep ball Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Breeze. Like we don't watch like the arm play the football. We play the brain. He's like okay, let's see. I'm getting blitzed from my left. I'm gonna run out for like 5 yards, then throw a quick slant, and that kind of stuff. Very safe.
So you're saying Darnold's better than Dak. I'm an even split. I'll list a couple more off, but it looks like we've kind of got our point of where to pin Darnold at. Goff.
Oh no. I'm gonna take Darnold. Goff is way
too
messy.
I would too. I don't think we're gonna be taking any of these guys, but actually, some we will. I have some that I should have included earlier. Caleb.
I'll take Caleb.
I agree.
I'll take Caleb.
Hurts.
No.
Really?
We cannot have Hurts in these, like good quarterback combos.
Really?
I think the amount of times Hurts has forced balls in crucial moments, like the playoffs, like the classic out route guy, 3 men on him, and he's like, yeah, I got this. Granted, A.J. Brown totally dropped the ball, literally and figuratively, on that one throw, but no. Don't give me Jalen.
I think I'm taking Hurts because I think we kind of talked about this before the show, but I think Hurts and Darnold did the same exact thing in the Super Bowl. They were on clearly the best team, and they did what they had to do. I wasn't wildly impressed by either of them. They did what they had to do, but Hurts has done it for longer, so I think I would just take that longevity aspect from him.
Maybe.
I don't know. But I would take him. I think that's our first disagreement. A couple more. Baker.
No.
I agree with that. Daniel Jones. Really just from this year. Yeah, no.
No.
And then the last 3, Love, Purdy, Nix. Any of them are you taking over Darnold?
Absolutely not.
All right.
Do not give me Bo Nix. Bo Nix is doing worse than Drake May out in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree.
That's 100%
no,
true.
for sure.
Rest well, man. Please heal well. But you are not doing better than May, even though May did not have a good game. Purdy, I mean, he has had a couple of crutches. His team has not been as good as the Seahawks. I'll say that. But
he's had teams almost as good as the Seahawks,
Kittle
and he didn't get it
there.
done.
Right.
He's
had the
teams.
moment. He's had the moment, and he never got it done.
And Darnold did.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got an agreement. The quarterbacks better than Darnold are Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, Allen, Stafford, May, Herbert, Caleb. And then we disagree on Hurts. So
that's like 8.
Yeah.
He's top 10.
Darnold's top 10. Clear's top 10. Good job for USC quarterback. We got 2 in the top 10.
Round of applause.
Caleb and Darnold.
That's the best we're getting for a couple of months.
Yeah, two top 10 quarterbacks. I'll take that as a Trojan. Let's talk about another Trojan sport, though. Let's go to basketball. Let's stay at USC right now. Elijah Arenas. Oh, he's balling.
I am really happy to see this, considering his history and the unfortunate situations he's landed upon. That's just so out of his hands, and it's tragic to see. He's balling out. Last 2 games, his stats, he's got 35 and 37 minutes respectively, and 29 and 24 points, plus a game winner against Penn State. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And, I mean, yeah, he's still got some room to grow. He's young. Let me just say, he is still probably going to be a very, very, very high draft pick.
I agree.
Not this year, but next year. If he grows and, the USC basketball team, which will change drastically considering the players on it right now, grows kind of around him, I think he'll learn how to, kind of flatten out those creases in his play style. One of the big things that's kind of a glaring downside is his shot consistency and his field goal percentage, which is kind of in the shot shucking range.
He takes a lot of shots.
A joke I have with USC is that they actually stands for University of Shot Shucking, because Chad Baker Mazzara also kind of falls into that kind of icky range where it's like, oh, he dropped 30, and I'm like looking at the stat line, it's like
10 free throws.
How many free throws? And oh my, oh my God, 27 or so shots. Like, it's something crazy like that. Where Arenas is doing really good stuff, but there's a lot of shots where it's like, no.
Yeah, you don't take that.
Yeah.
You got to learn. You learn those things. I will say, though, to his credit, getting to the line is a skill of itself. So being able to put up almost 30 points a game when you're not making even a double-digit number of shots, it's impressive to me. Like, the ability to get to the line consistently, that's something I think we also see in Juju a lot, right? And granted, Juju kind of has to chuck those shots depending on the team because she, like, is clearly the star. Whereas I think a lot of times we'll have, Elijah Arenas is great. He's kind of on a level playing field with the rest of his teammates, whereas Juju, she's always been just clearly the best player. The team revolves around her. She's got to shoot, but she also gets to, like, she'll shoot 12 free throws a game. Elijah Arenas kind of reminding me a little bit of that. But I think the other thing that I've liked about Elijah, just very well-rounded. Perfect player, and I think that kind of skill set is very transferable to the NBA. No matter what you need, Elijah, he does it all. From what I read from scouting reports when he entered USC, and then now watching the last 2 games, there is no glaring flaw to me other than, he takes too many shots. But what do you expect from, like, I don't know, a star guard? Like, that's what they all do for the first couple of games until they really learn how to, I don't know, kind of play at the next level.
Yeah, he's kind of doing a Cade Cunningham bit right now.
Very much so.
I love to Cade Cunningham. Got some good friends who are Detroit fans, but there is, something like that where it's like, can be fixed. The mindset that you are taking those shots can be fixed. And I understand the competitiveness and the growing surge in basketball where you got one player playing, dominant usage ball is what I like to call it. That's kind of my qualms with the Kings trade because you got Russell Westbrook who loves to do that. I mean, that guy is
that's his thing.
That's shot king right there. Respectfully, I love Westbrook, but you got issues where that can get flattened out. Luka, star player on the Lakers, he's going to be for the next few years, also does that. Granted, he has to.
Yeah.
I think it's something that can definitely be flattened out. And as you were correct on what you were talking about with the scouts, his draft stock is going up.
Very much so.
So please stay tuned because Evan Mobley might not be the only USC star in the league in the next few years. And that's exciting.
Yeah.
We love to see that as USC Trojans.
Absolutely. Let's. I want to talk about another guard, another player that has been making headlines for completely different reasons. We talked about him last week. Charles Bediako, the Alabama player who went undrafted in 2023, played a couple years in the G League, then went back to Alabama and actually played a couple of games this year. Well, now he can't play because of an injunction that had allowed him to play for Alabama this year. It's been denied. And I think the funniest thing of all of it, and we can talk about the repercussions of this, but the funniest thing to me, 2 days ago, he went 5 for 5 for 12 points in a win against Auburn, and now he can't play basketball. Not because of injury, not because of a suspension, not because he's benched, but because the court just said, hey, you actually can't play, and you've been playing this entire season.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me.
I think, as much as there are issues with, the courts and how legal ownership and yada, yada, NIL and all that stuff in the NCAA is always highly, highly controversial.
Yeah.
I think this is the one thing they got right. This guy is 7 foot. He's like a center. He's got G League training, and he's going back to play against little like 18, 19-year-olds. Imagine you get out of a lecture and you've got to go play an NBA player.
Yeah, that's.
I would lose my mind. Like, I have linguistics or something at like 1, and I get out, and it's like, oh, I'm matching up against Cam Thomas. Great. Okay, this is gonna go great. The statement from NCAA president said that college sports are for students, not for people who already walked away to go pro and now want to hit the undo button at the expense of a teenager's dream. I think that's correct, 100%. And I think the fallout's going to fall into other players like Ace Bailey, who are currently trying to look at schools. He looked at the Grand Canyon University, not UCLA, which is very smart considering UCLA is probably not going to take him. But the thing is, people are continuously looking around. kind of makes you wonder. There's a giant question mark on what Pods is going to do. Everyone's saying, oh, he might go back to college. He could, but I guess not anymore.
Yeah, I can't do that now. It's crazy because we talked about, a couple players who were considered, exception. Like there were players that had already done this, right? That are actively playing or are planning on coming back to college. Impacts everything. And I agree, they got it right, but they need to have consistency. They can't keep having different rulings for different players because, this player played in the NBA, this player was in the G League, this player went to Europe. You got to treat them all the same. Like, I think it's simple. Once you enter the draft, once you leave the NCAA, don't come back. Like, you're not a college student anymore.
Yeah.
Right? It's I don't know. It's crazy to me.
I think this is also going to lead into the expansion draft that people are talking about, the NBA, the expansion of leagues and other G leagues. Fun fact, this is why I think it's just becoming more and more mainstream. For you 2K heads out there, the my player story is actually not in college. You go to a G League, and that's how you make your way up the rankings. There's so many other ways to break in the sport.
Yeah.
And I think if you leave the NCAA, it doesn't mean your story's over. I think it's cheap to go back and basically smurf.
I agree.
That's not fair.
I agree. There's a lot of ways to make it in basketball. Basketball is one of the most international sports.
Continuing
there is. And let's talk about, for the last couple minutes that we have, I want to talk about another international sport. Specifically one player within that sport, Lindsey Vonn, the downhill skier who a little over a week ago made headlines for, she was trying to break records as a 41-year-old downhill skier, but she sadly tore her ACL. That was on January 30th during a final race before the Olympics. Right after that, she was like, yeah, it sucked, but I'm going to compete in the Olympics that are happening next week. Yesterday on February 8th, she sustained what they called a complex tibia fracture that will require multiple surgeries to fix. I think there's elements to this. First of all, questionable decision to compete on a torn ACL from a week ago. But I admire her for that and respect her for that resilience. But she's just such a role model. We don't know what's going to happen with her career after this. You're 41 years old on a tibia fracture and an ACL. I don't think anyone can do that. Maybe Tom Brady. I don't know. He might be the only guy. But I want to talk about her impact and kind of the impact of Olympic athletes as a whole, especially athletes who aren't, let's say, football, basketball, or baseball, where there's an MLB or an NFL that really takes the cake here. She's an athlete who, their end goal is to be an Olympian, right? And I know you're a fencer, right? And so that's kind of a sport in the same vein where the end goal is to become an Olympian, and there's always one athlete in that sport who has that impact. I don't know if you can kind of talk about what that's like in fencing, kind of how that pertains to her, but
yeah, I used to do fencing a while ago, and I think there's a couple of sports. I think chess is not necessarily a part of the Olympics, but everyone knows who Magnus is in the chess world. I mean, if you know who Magnus is, you're trying to beat him. He's the guy. There's always an apex at the swimming world. It's Michael Phelps. And for Lindsey Vonn, despite the injury and playing off a torn, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
The USA still won gold.
Yep.
I think it's because of her impact. I think it's because of the impact of these greats. And it really just brings, America together. Because I know all the fans of different soccer teams and clubs, I know who they're going to be rooting for the World Cup. America.
Yeah.
It's same with the Olympics. I think that's what it does. I think it really unites the people, and it makes those small athletes, those young athletes go, I can be that. I can be better.
And you know what? The girl who won the gold, Breezy Johnson, first woman to ever win that race for the States, for the U.S., other than Lindsey Vonn. So, I don't know. Very memorable way to go out of the sport if that's going to be her exit. Amazing impact from her. Stay tuned, though. That's all the time we've got, but in 2 minutes, we've got another block for you.
And welcome back to the Talk of Troy. We're here on the next segment with my boy, Jonathan.
Yes, sir.
And real quick, let me shout out, those beats were actually by our truly Grayson in the booth. So shout out to him, man.
Yes, sir. Those were fire, man.
I was feeling
Those were
myself.
good.
But, you know.
Got me hyped for this segment.
Yeah, bro. Let's talk about it. I mean, obviously we got a couple things to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
But this Super Bowl was a Super Bowl of all time.
It was definitely a Super Bowl.
And I could get, on my Drake May hater stuff right now, but first, I actually want to do something special. A lot of people don't maybe watch the NFL. Surprisingly, there are people out there that actually exist.
Yeah.
And they just watch the NBA. And that's fair. I started watching the NBA, and then I transferred to football. But if you were to ask them, all right, well, what is this Super Bowl like in NBA Finals terms? So what would you compare this year's Super Bowl to the NBA Finals of the past? And I have an answer.
Do you?
It's so easy. This Super Bowl was such a 2023 NBA Finals. 2023. You have the Denver Nuggets versus the Miami Heat in a Super Bowl of all time-esque performance where you had Jimmy Butler and the crew, going up against Nikola Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, all at the peak of their powers, and especially that man Jokic. I got two things. Mainly, well, how is it exactly like a 2023 finals?
Yeah.
Well, let's look at tit for tat best players.
Okay.
So the best players on those two teams were Nikola Jokic and Jimmy Butler.
Sure.
And on these teams, the captains of your offense was Jackson Smith-Njigba, who didn't have a fantastic game, but he managed to separate the offense as much as he could while he was in the game. He was out for a little bit, and managed to get guys open, like an A.J. Barner, like a Cooper Kupp, who had a resurgence in that performance. And he was able to do things outside of just getting catches, getting touchdowns. He was able to do other things out there. So that's why I think that Jackson Smith-Njigba was their Nikola Jokic. If you want to even say their defense was what made them so dominant, and that's also their Nikola Jokic, aka dominance. Sure. Now for this, Jimmy Butler on the opposite side for the Miami Heat. They tried. It was a game. It was a series of 5. Obviously we don't have series for Super Bowls, but we had Jimmy Butler go up against a lot of teams in the playoffs, and that was the Milwaukee Bucks. I want to say, did they play? They played. Actually, no. They because I forgot they were a play-in team at first.
Yeah.
They played the Chicago Bulls, and then they played the Milwaukee Bucks, and then they played the Boston Celtics. Almost choked in a really bad Game 7 down, up 3-0 blunder, but didn't. But on all those games, he didn't just play good. He played great. And that is exactly what Drake May needed to be in order to compete in this Super Bowl. He couldn't have just played good. And he didn't play good. Let's be fair. 5 turnovers. Probably one of the worst performances I've ever seen in the last couple of years for a quarterback in the Super Bowl. Yes, I said it. I don't care.
Okay.
Purdy would have never done that. Nevertheless, he needed to be great. Just like how Jimmy Butler was great for at least one game, Drake May couldn't be great. He's a second-year quarterback, sure. Whatever. But there have been tons of people saying that this guy is not just smoke and mirrors. He was the league's MVP, and Matt Stafford shouldn't have won it with his stacked wideout receivers in Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Well, if that was the case, then what did I just see on national television?
That's fair. No,
So, this Super Bowl will be remembered as your typical Atom Bomb versus Coughing Baby series.
Dang.
Because this series was disappointing. boring to watch, and honestly a waste of everybody's time, if I'm being honest. Just like how that Denver Nuggets team was not being beaten, that Seahawks team wasn't being beaten by anybody.
Yeah.
Even if it was this sorry Patriots team that they faced off against, they weren't losing, and that's how dominant and how uneven the scales were in this matchup. And I hope that the next Super Bowl will not be as unbalanced.
Yeah, no. And before we move on from the Super Bowl, I have something to say.
Tell me
Tony.
about it, man.
I
know what he's gonna say, and I'm ready for it.
This Super Bowl was the biggest upset in Super Bowl history. And I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about the MVP. There is no way Kenneth Walker is winning an MVP over my man, Jason Myers.
Yes!
This is not, I don't
Talk
care.
about it.
History should have been made. You want to tell me Kenneth Walker, what did he have? 27 carries for 135 yards.
Okay.
Look, that's
Boo.
good. No, I'll give him that. How many touchdowns? How many points? How much did he contribute? That's right. Donut. You want to hear something? Myers, okay? 5 for 5 on field goals. That's 15 points right there. He just beat the Patriots. Just then, 15-13.
They
Done.
weren't even chip shots.
No, they were good field goals. All right, perfection plus the 2 extra points. I mean, that is 17 points as a kicker, Tony. As a kicker, that is more than the entirety of the Patriots. He wins. He wins the game alone, right there. How is he not your MVP? Someone needs to answer that for me.
Roger Goodell didn't want to see this man succeed.
No.
The second that I saw this stage and Kenneth Walker and Sam Darnold were up there on the stage with a very absentee Jason Myers, I was upset. I was upset just like my man Jonathan was, because this was an absolute highway robbery. I understand that you need to give the unk his flowers, and you can't give Sam Darnold the MVP for a performance like that, where his only passing touchdown is a AJ Barner. They ran the same play against.
He had a touchdown though. He had a touchdown. He had one. He added points.
Yeah,
though.
he did have a touchdown. So honestly, maybe you could make a case.
Walker didn't have points.
Kenneth Walker. One, he wouldn't be in this position if Charbonnet was there. Let's make that clear. This committee is still a committee, even after this season, it's still going to be a committee. Yeah, he was a benefit of the Patriots' sorry run defense.
Yeah,
he was twitchy, he was fresh, he was juiced, and that's great for him and bad for the Patriots defense because he just walked circles around him. They couldn't guard they couldn't guard him at all. But that doesn't mean that Jason Myers, the man that carried the amount of points on the board throughout halftime, not just the halftime show, but headed into the end of the third quarter, there's 0 points on the board for the offense or the defense. This was highway robbery. I agree.
Absolutely. That's my soapbox. That's why all I have to say about this Super Bowl is that Myers should be walking home with an MVP trophy. No one can change my mind, and no one has a better argument. I guarantee that.
Myers should get a bigger bag than Kenneth Walker does this offseason. But,
He won't, unfortunately.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Man, I just had to get that off my chest.
No, I
I've been
understand.
marinating on that
I understand.
all day. All
Yeah.
day.
What's next? What we talk about?
Well, we have, let's see, we could talk about how the Bucks are making a run, or trying to make a run, by picking up Cam Thomas after their giant trade. Oh, we need to trade Giannis. We'll take everything. We want all of your stuff and some for Giannis. Doesn't work out. They go, you know what? Let's try to make a run. We're only, 12th in the East? It's fine. Let's pick up Cam Thomas, maybe try to do something.
Yeah. I'm confused.
Yeah. Confused is a good word.
I'm confused because didn't we just say that the Bucks are trying to move on, Giannis and him, this relationship is inseparable, they're booing fans. And then, he agrees that there's no real hope here for Milwaukee, that, it's a sinking ship and you got to read the writing on the wall.
Where's all that going? What happened?
Apparently, I guess there's some belief in there that Giannis thinks that Cam Thomas answers all their problems. Yeah, listen, as a guy that watched Cam Thomas from his rookie year to what he is now, I can tell you that Cam Thomas is probably, I mean, he's empty calories. He's empty calories.
Okay.
He's like what you would call a delicious, Detroit style pizza, but with no protein and nothing sustainable besides just, you got some grease, you got your sauce, you got your cheese. But there's
That's a great comparison.
there's nothing really too spicy about it because
No.
he can't be your point guard. The reason why they're giving him away is the reason that the Nets waived him is because he wasn't abiding by their offense, by Ott's offense. I think that he is a great talent scoring wise. He learned from the best. Kevin Durant and James Harden and Kyrie Irving. That's a pretty high committee to learn from scoring wise. But this isn't a move that should make any needles move or make anybody say, wow, the Bucks are back in it into contention. The Bucks, by the end of this year, are still going to be in the bottom threshold of the conference, of the Eastern Conference, and they're still going to be a 15 through 10 seed.
Hey, let me say something. Give me the Wizards over the Bucks right now. Wizards over the Bucks. All right? That's all I'm saying. Also,
The Wizards have a actual direction.
yeah, at least they're going somewhere right now. The Bucks, for lack of better words, dead in the water. And what I have a question for you, Tony. What do you think the reaction will be like when Giannis comes back? Like he plays because he's been injured, right? He hasn't played. What are the what's the atmosphere gonna be for that game, right? Because like you said, they pretty much both agreed that hey, this ain't gonna work. I want out. Fans are booing. All this stuff. What's gonna happen in that game? Like Giannis comes back and everything's good. What's going on?
It's gonna be. It's gonna be like the guy that doesn't show up, at work for a while, and then all of a sudden it's donut conference day. You got your snacks, and then like all of a sudden he's just like, hey guys, I'm coming back into the conference room. What's going on? You haven't seen me at work, but thanks for these jelly-filled donuts. I'm always here. I'm always talking. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Yeah, it's gonna be terrible.
Okay.
Because this guy still needs to move in the offseason.
Right.
As much as I hated on the way that this story developed, because it seemed like we were really going to get a trade by the deadline, and it made more sense at the deadline because you could get more assets now, and there's not any point in participating in the rest of the season. This season is done for Milwaukee. Your future is now what you should be focused at and not whatever is trying to be repaired between you and Giannis. And this Cam Thomas move just makes me believe that they haven't learned anything. They haven't learned their lesson.
Yeah.
They're going to still be in perpetuity of mediocrity and less, and they're going to become what's a great comparison? They might become the new, I can't even describe a word. They're just going to become the new Milwaukee Bucks.
The new Milwaukee
They're going to be the Milwaukee Bucks, and everybody's going to be understanding why they're so bad because they have they never figured out what they wanted. And honestly, it's going to be funny to see what he does with Cam Thomas and what Doc Rivers does with Cam Thomas too. Let's not pretend that he had Damian Lillard on his team before too,
That's true.
And tried to use him as a scorer. Regardless, this is garbage.
Yeah, no. And I also do wonder, do you think Giannis, because obviously it's not like he has to play to get his offers up, right? Everyone wants Giannis, regardless. Yeah. Do you think he's gonna play to his best of his ability now that he's coming back for the Bucks? Is it like a you guys kind of not screwed me in a way, but like how you treated me, like I'm not going to go try and put my heart out on the line because that's characteristic of Giannis, right? He's always out there going full power.
He's going to play as hard as he can.
You still think he's going to play as hard as he can? Like, I don't know. Like, do you just kind of go, this season's over for me? I don't want to get injured.
I think that the league has a big, no about this, but about player management and load management. But players have sat out for a lot worse. And I think that it's it's just he's going to do his job. He's going to show up to work. He's going to be there for the media.
Yeah.
But there's going to be something off.
Mhm.
Doc Rivers went and joked around in a press conference interview saying that, Shams Charania, she's going to be participating in the celebrity game, and Giannis is going to be coaching him up. I think Giannis is saying that he's going to be requesting trade,
How do you feel about that dynamic, by the way?
I hope he figures out what's actually going on. I hope Shams actually has a moment where he can fix his track record, because right now, it looks like we really missing Woj, man.
Oh, yeah. There's no more Woj bomb. That hurts.
Yeah, there's no more Woj bombs. And honestly, the world's better when Woj is reporting, because we actually had concrete stories.
Yeah, it wasn't speculative. If you saw it from Woj, it happened. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
oh, well, potentially speaking, maybe
Yeah,
for this and that, and there's 72
And
teams.
I'm, I'm not discrediting him, because he broke the Luka Doncic trade.
That is true. He did do that very well, but
But this is where I'm starting to be like, all right, I'm worried if he's got a little too much motion. You know what I mean? Now that he's like kind of like the top dog and he's got no competition no more, I'm starting to think that Shams just thinks that, you know what? This job was promised to me 3,000 years ago. So it's time for me to do my thing and maybe not be as diligent as I needed to be comparing to my peers.
okay.
And it's gonna be different how these types of stories are reported.
Mm-hmm.
We already know that player empowerment is number one. The league is shifting to the teams don't make these decisions, the players do, and they get to choose where to go. If that's the case, you got to be talking to the players, man.
Yeah.
Talk to the players, understand what they want to do, and just be straightforward with them. I know he has his valid sources, but the way that this story should have shaped up was the way that he was trying to build the same magic with the Luka Doncic trade,
Mhm.
but he was trying to manufacture it.
Okay, interesting.
And it's okay. It's okay for these stories to develop behind the scenes. But if you're not exactly sure what's going on, then you can't be trying to say developing story. When you say these Giannis and Milwaukee Bucks things are trying to develop, they're starting to build and snowball into conversations, and then it turns out to be a nothing burger, and it just feels like a he said she said conversation with your boy. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope that Giannis goes back to playing, efficiently and tough, because if not, that'll bring down his trade value.
Yeah.
And if he cares about the Milwaukee fan base any more than that he does now, then he will make sure that Milwaukee gets a package.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, I know we got like 2 minutes left. I do want to ask you a question as well.
hit me.
So, obviously talking about the Sham stuff, how long do you think he will be like head insider? Do you think he's gonna go until basically he's like done with it, like Woj was, or do you think someone may have a chance to, supersede him here?
I like to see young bucks come in, man. I
Okay.
mean, he's young, but I mean, there are probably lots of young and upcoming guys that are willing to, break news in probably more fun ways that he has right now.
Fair enough.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think that he's the top dog now, but he won't be forever.
Do you have just a random guess for how long? Because obviously it's hard to tell.
Honestly, if he has another blunder at the trade deadline like this and the next season, I don't know what the stipulations of his contract with ESPN, but he will start needing a leash of sorts.
Okay.
So they'll probably have to give slack on the leash, and a little less slack, or
I agree with you. I was just genuinely curious.
Yeah. Honestly, bring back Windy. Windy, you can still report for us. So, yeah, man.
There you go. All right. Well, it is 9, so
That's all this time that we got, but we'll see you guys really soon.
Yeah.
So don't worry.
stick around.
Stick around. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in the next one. We got some tunes in the.
Because he don't want you to slip, he don't want you to fall. But as we come up here on this last block, I think we got to talk about the music we heard on Sunday by Bad Bunny himself. At Bad Bunny, what were you guys' thoughts? What do we think? I think it was pretty cool. I liked the production. I didn't understand anything he said.
Nope.
But honestly, look, I don't care. Like, I want to dance. I mean, I like the dancers. Everybody was in there, had the whole grass, the people in the grass. I mean, I was feeling it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
How-
I didn't
what do you
realize
guys
that
think?
those like the grass was people. Like I didn't realize that until I saw some dude hit the six.
Yeah, I was like, holy Fortnite, man. the
Yeah.
bushes are moving
The
everywhere.
bushes.
And then they had like all the people on the stage in different spots
Yeah.
representing different cultures, had the flags, and then he had Together We Are America with the football.
You
I
got,
knew
the,
that
tough.
was- I knew
you got
that-
the old people, you know.
I knew that was coming.
Doing the chess. You got the kids sleeping on the chairs.
Yeah, you know, he was
Lady Gaga surprise appearance.
Lady Gaga surprise appearance.
and there was a real wedding too.
And
Everybody
yeah.
was dancing like, like,
Yeah.
It was exciting.
And Ricky Martin too.
Ricky Martin. Yeah, that was a cool.
Made a
cool
surprising,
shout-out.
and then
Throwback.
the people dancing. I mean, that was a surprising experience. But the people
That was.
dancing, he had Cardi B up there.
Uh-huh.
He had Jessica Alba up
Pedro
there.
Pascal.
Pedro
Pascal.
Pascal. I mean, it was loaded. It was stacked. He had some top people
That's the kind of
representing
energy
their
Super Bowl
countries
likes
up
to
there.
see.
It was
yeah.
it was nice. It was pretty exciting. But I mean, we kind of talked about that. But I think we gotta play a game that we haven't played here in a while on Talking
Ooh.
Troy, and we're gonna be guessing some famous players or just players in general that played for a certain team. Once
Ooh.
we get the team back there from Grayson. Grayson, you got a team in mind that we could talk about? NBA
NBA?
NBA.
Okay. Right now? All right, let me see.
or do a random wheel spinner?
No,
Oh,
I'm thinking. Let's
Gotta
go
win.
Detroit Pistons.
The
Whoa,
Detroit
Mm.
Pistons.
what?
All right, so we're gonna
Oh,
go.
okay.
We're gonna go. This player could have played for the Pistons at any time in the Pistons history of the
Yeah.
game.
So
Okay.
any
Any era.
all-time Piston. Yeah. So
Yeah.
today, back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Grayson, give us a sound effect once
Pistons.
we get let's give us 10 seconds on on a shot clock. So
Alright,
once
yeah.
after 10 seconds, then
Then
we're out.
that's it. Yeah.
then we're on to the next.
All right, let's do a random
Oh, and
random generator here on our names. Let's see. Hold up. I got you right here. Who goes first? We could
Dude.
just pick it, but I feel like it's not fair. Let's just do this. All right. Here we got. And Tony. All right, cool. All right, let's see. So exciting.
So exciting. The most
Wow.
exciting.
All right, Tony, you go first.
Oh, snap. Okay, clockwise or counterclockwise?
We'll just go Tony, Tyler, Kyle.
Okay, cool. Okay. All right. Start off. Malice at the Palace. Give me. I don't even have to say his name. I don't even have to say his name. Continue.
Wait, but who is it from there, though? You got to say it.
Yeah.
Oh.
From the Pistons.
Okay. Malice at the Palace. We'll go. The guy that started it all.
I know we just need like a name though, so we like we don't say it.
All right, fine. I'll save it for later.
Okay.
All right. Give me Chauncey Billups.
All right.
Man, I'm the NBA casual here, so I might be cooked, but just give me Cade.
Cade.
Jalen Dern.
Okay. Isaiah Stewart.
Was Schroeder ever on the Pistons?
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
give me
he
Schroeder.
was.
Give me
He
Schroeder.
was. He was last year.
Ben Wallace.
Okay. Ish Smith. I'm sure he was on the Pistons.
Let's do a check real quick. Ish Smith. Was he on the Pistons?
No way he wasn't.
Mm.
No way.
Wait.
You have like a 10-day?
He did play for the Detroit Pistons.
Okay.
You're good,
We're
you're
so
good.
safe. All right. Next. Come on, Tyler.
I got like no names coming to mind. I know this is wrong. Was Kyle Lowry ever on the Pistons?
Kyle
my
Lowry? I
gosh.
don't think so.
No, he's
On the top of my
I
dome?
don't think so. All right, so Tyler might be a first exit in
I'm
that,
out.
in that
That's
category.
okay. Give us a
out.
new team.
all right. Oh, all right. We go to new team.
New team. Orlando Magic.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Orlando Magic.
Okay,
the
Desmond
magic.
Bain,
T-Rex arms. Paolo Banchero.
Jonathan Isaac,
Isaac Bonga.
Anthony Black,
Mo Bamba.
Jalen Suggs,
Shaquille O'Neal.
Dwight Howard,
Penny Hardaway.
Horace Grant,
T-Mac.
Turkaloo,
Mo Wagner.
Patrick Ewing,
Contavious Caldwell Pope.
Magic. Oh, Matt Barnes.
That's a good one.
Damn, KCP was a pull. Great Laker.
Aaron Gordon.
Oh. Magic. Aaron Gordon. Damn, I completely forgot about him. Oh, you might have got me, Tony.
Stadium Pulse.
I don't even know. Magic. No.
Bump.
Yeah. All right, you got me. You
Bum,
got me.
bum,
All right.
bum,
All right,
bum.
not
So-
bad.
All right, we'll play 3 games. Tony got that one.
All right.
All
Next
right.
up, give me another team.
Let's go to the
Give me
next
another
one.
team. I got my
Dude,
crown.
let's get some NFL in here.
NFL.
Or we could do NFL.
We could do an NFL
we
round.
could do an NFL
Grayson, give us a
round.
random NFL team.
Are we doing NFL?
Yeah.
All right, let's do Minnesota Vikings.
All right.
Okay.
Vikings all-time random player.
All right.
We'll go with you, Tony. You can start.
Okay. Me again. Sam Darnold.
McCarthy.
Justin Jefferson.
USC's own Jordan Addison.
Kirk O'Chains.
Case Keenum.
TJ Hawkinson.
Stephon Diggs.
Adrian Peterson.
No. Randy Moss was not a Viking. He was a Baltimore. I'm cooked right off the bat.
Man.
Wait. Oh, damn
Second
it.
round exit. Randy Moss did play for the Vikings.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was tripping. I was like, nah, man. He wore only
Yeah,
purple
he play-
ones.
he play with
That's
them.
crazy. All right. Give us another NFL team, Grayson.
Let's go. Let's do New York Giants.
Gee. Okay. All-time Giants. All right. I'll start. Daniel Jones.
Strahan.
Tommy DeVito.
Abdul Carter.
Saquon Barkley.
Scatterbo.
OBJ.
Eli Manning.
Plaxico Burress.
Ooh. Is he gonna get me on this
That's
one
a
already?
mythical.
Neighbors.
Jeremy Shockey.
Why can't I think of other Giants running backs?
You don't have to just go running backs.
Man, I'm already. Do you say Daniel Jones already?
Yeah.
Took that one early. Man, I think I'm blanking.
The hard part. The hard part is
Jackson-
when-
Jackson Fart? Like
Or yeah, Jackson.
Oh, man,
Jackson Dart.
I don't
or,
know why I thought he was taking
Or
already.
Lawrence Taylor. Who else? Well, I already said Jeremy Shockey. Victor Cruz. Who other quarterbacks?
Russell
Wanda-
Wilson.
yeah, Russ.
Tyrod Taylor, Russell Wilson.
Tommy
I
DeVito.
feel like there's some
You
wide
said Tommy
receivers.
Yeah, I
DeVito.
said Tommy
missing in
DeVito.
there.
All right,
Give me the Italian.
Should you do NBA or NFL?
Cool. I'm going back to NBA.
NBA? Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me
All right,
another.
Grayson,
give me
NBA
another-
I need to
team.
expand my
NBA
NBA
team.
knowledge. I'll write these names down.
These get no, bro. Go in 2K. You'll find
Yeah.
these names.
These 2K pulls. Holy.
Let's do a fun one. Let's
I
go
was gonna
Boston Celtics.
The Boston
Celtics.
Celtics. Your favorite team. Oh my gosh.
All right,
Okay. I can.
you go, Tony.
I'll start off. Rajon Rondo.
Larry Bird.
Kevin Garnett.
We'll go Paul Pierce.
Tatum.
Ray Allen.
Kristaps Porzingis.
Brown.
Big Baby Davis.
That was the one I was thinking of. Isaiah Thomas.
Al Horford.
Oh, Drew Holiday.
Derek White.
I was about to say him. Who's the other guy? I see. I know what he looks like. I got no name for him, man. Yeah, you can buzz me out.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right. Well, Tony, you want to just continue it?
Yeah, we can continue it.
All
right.
Kemba Walker,
No way. I was about to say that, bro. All right. Kyrie Irving.
Antoine Walker,
We'll go Nerlens Noel.
okay. Gordon Hayward,
Neemias Queta.
Taco Fall,
Marcus Smart.
That's what I was thinking.
Porzingis.
That was
I
what
said
was
Porzingis.
Oh shit, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Avery Bradley.
Okay.
All time. It could be anybody.
No, I know. Oh, Bill Russell.
Kelly Olynyk.
Oh my God, why am I forgetting his name? Oh my God, John. What's his name? No, no.
You can
Havlicek.
say
Havlicek.
Okay.
Havlicek. Okay.
Kevin McHale.
Okay. We'll go. Who's the man that played the rifleman? Oh my gosh. What's his name? No, y'all are laughing now, but there's a man that plays the rifleman. Oh no.
I got no
Chuck
idea.
Connors. Chuck Connors.
Oh wow.
I want y'all to look up Chuck Connors after this
Okay.
game.
He saved
Who
himself.
is this?
Robert
1
Parrish.
second, too. That was crazy.
Okay.
Those
Peyton Pritchard.
Cedric Maxwell.
Yeah, Chuck Connors.
Rifleman. I think that's it. I think that's it, my friend. Good, good game. Good game.
I got the comeback. It's all good.
That's
I don't know if I
that's-
missed it. Was there a Drew Holiday thrown in there?
Yeah,
There
I,
was Drew
I said
Holiday.
Drew Holiday.
Chuck,
but
let me.
but there's
be-
what was the other guy? Cornette. Could have said
Luke
Cornette.
Cornette. Yeah. To be-
Schroeder.
Dude, this guy was born in 1921.
Yes. Chuck Connors.
What a pull.
Chuck Connors, I should know.
That's
because
crazy.
this man, he played a cowboy on a show that my grandfather watched
Oh wow.
growing up, and he played baseball and he was a Boston
He's
Celtic.
the first baseman,
Crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
ABL.
that's gonna do it. As I make the 2-0 comeback. That's it, guys. D
Yeah.
Block, Talk of Troy.
Yeah.
Monday show. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Fun. Peace.
Yep. See y'all.
Peace.